Time on the line with us, State Senator Lee Zeldin, 3rd District. He is vying for a spot in the 1st Congressional District come November. We welcome him back to our program. Senator Zeldin, good morning.
Good morning to you, Jay. It's good to be back.
Good to have you back. Lots going. You know, it's interesting. You kind of get rid of the dog days of summer, and even though we hit almost 90 degrees the other day, you kind of feel this is, kind of back to business in a lot of ways, and I'm sure you're feeling the same way as you vie for the 1st congressional spot here in the district here. Big campaign rally, I understand, as well. Is that happening on Monday?
Yeah, Monday at 7 o'clock at the Center H VFW is our fall campaign kickoff rally. It's a free event. The VFW is at 31 Horseblock Road in Center H. We have a couple great special guests, and hopefully a good turnout from the community. Everybody's invited.
Sounds good. Do you also feel like, it's kind of back to business? Here we go, starting to heat up again. You went through this with the primary. It heated up certainly as you got into that period right now. You starting to get that feel as well?
Well, I'll tell you, the way that I'm wired, I feel like I've been going straight for about 11 years.
Nonstop, huh?
But, I definitely, see within the community, I think a lot of people between Memorial Day, July 4th, Labor Day, as we go through those months, a lot of people are just busy, enjoying Long Island, traveling, family, school's out. So it's definitely a different pace once school comes back in session.
No question about it. We're talking with Senator Lee Zeldin, 3rd District. Senator, let's talk about a couple of topics. I know this Shed the Meds event. I find this to be very interesting, and it's a great idea when you think about it. Apparently, you're getting rid of anybody who looks in their pill cabinet or whatever. I know I have the same thing. You've got 1 million bottles of medication there that are certainly expired, outdated, not to be used. Instead of just tossing it away, I think it's a great way to kind of put it in one consolidated place there, huh?
Yeah, so yesterday we had a Shed the Meds at the Henrietta Acampora Center in Blue Point. It was in partnership with the Suffolk County Police Department, Operation Medicine Cabinet, and for whoever's listening, all across the area, we have our local police precinct where we can go at any time and safely dispose of unused, unwanted, expired medication. It's amazing how much of a collection gets built up in some people's homes, and it's just important that if it is unwanted or unused or expired, you're not going to be using it to safely dispose of it, and this is an anonymous way to do so.
No question about it, especially when we report all the time. We all know about the problems, certainly with drugs on the island and everything else. The last thing you want is with some of these old pills and needles and whatnot to be in the wrong hands. Certainly a wonderful idea. Let's talk a little bit about Common Core. I guess some of the results looked somewhat positive from the scores, although there are certainly other areas right now, the categories that the testing certainly needs to be up a little bit. Some of the more highly rated districts coming in a little bit short. Does it add a little solace to this Common Core? Is it still, listen, it's all about implementation. We've got to fight it, that whole thing. I mean, the fight is still on, I would guess, no?
Well, yeah, Common Core needs to be stopped. I believe in higher standards, but Common Core is not the answer. These standards are created nationally. The tests are created at the state level, curriculum set by school districts, and nobody's talking to each other. I wrote legislation in Albany to stop Common Core. New tests came out recently. But it's very deceiving because you change the manner in which you are scoring these tests, and then announce how everyone's doing better. There's a controversy and a lot of questions just with regards to the testing process, the scoring process. So a lot of material that is not age appropriate. The teaching 6-year-olds, first graders about ancient world Mesopotamia or the Tigris and Euphrates rivers with regards to development of the city of Babylon. Good lessons to be learned, but I don't know if first graders it's the right age to teach it. So I happen to be opposed to Common Core, and my daughters just started 3rd grade a couple days ago, and it's about them and their generation and giving them a quality education.
No question about it. Senator Zeldin, is it okay if we come right back to you? We just want to check our traffic and weather. You have a second or so?
Of course.
Absolutely. There you go. We appreciate that. We have some major problems as far as fog, visibility, big-time tie-ups, LIE. So let's get the latest from Nancy Remy.
We run into quite the bottle up on the LIE westbound. This report brought to you by the Foundation for a Better Life. Exit 62 at Nichols Road through to the Vets at 57. Just stop-and-go traffic. Still slow from Motor Parkway and the Santa Coast in toward Deer Park Avenue. Northern State also building from the Sunken Meadow through to exit 43. And Southern State has westbound delays. Belmont Avenue exit 37 through to Wellwood, coming right out toward 110 at exit 32. Meantime, Sunrise Highway buildup out toward Hampton Bays is no surprise out through to exit 65 and 66. Still some dense fog on the east end, so take it easy out there, and the trains are on schedule. Winston Churchill's words stirred his country in the face of defeat. Today they inspire us to reach for our own victories. Commitment. Pass it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com. I'm Nancy Remy on 103.9 LI News Radio.
If you're traveling into the wonderful town of Peconic, you have 64 degrees. Lots of sun out there, so let's head over to Bill with the weather.
A beautiful day for today with mostly sunny skies, warm, dry conditions near 85. Mostly clear tonight, upper 60s. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, 80 to 85. I'm meteorologist Bill Jacquemin on 103.9 LI News Radio.
On Saturday, September 20th at the Penny Saver Amphitheater, it's the first annual Man Day Expo. Barbecue, beer, wings, moonshine, live music, fine cigars. Register to win a hot tub and a pool table and so much more. Doors open at 2 p.m. on Saturday, September 20th. The first annual Men Day Expo, a full day dedicated to all things man. For more info, pennysaveramp.com and click on Men Day Expo. The first annual Men Day Expo at the Penny Saver Amphitheater on Saturday, September 20th. For sponsorship or display information for your business, call Bruce at 631-648-2500. A full day dedicated to all things man. The Man Day Expo at the Penny Saver Amphitheater, Saturday, September 20th.
Man Day 2014, one day dedicated to all things man. For more info, visit pennysaveramp.com.
103.9 LI News Radio. Follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and listen live 24/7 at linewsradio.com.
And we are back. State Senator Lee Zeldin, 3rd District. He's vying for a spot, though, in the 1st Congressional District come November, talking about a variety of topics. Senator, it's interesting. I had on Judge John Marks the other day, the Executive Director of Parking Violations, that agency over in Nassau County. The speed camera's up, causing a huge stir. Now, next year, I believe in Suffolk County, we'll get those cameras. This is the amount of folks that have contacted us, and just for some of the comments I've read, there's so much opposition to this whole thing.
Well, I voted against all of the red light camera, speed camera legislation up in Albany. Broke with party leadership on all of those votes. It's just the legislation in many respects get passed because folks say it's necessary for public safety, and the fact is the reason why more cameras, more red light cameras, more speed cameras are being advocated for is for revenue, to help balance books and local budgets. And you have a lot of people in government at all levels of government who believe that their level of government has revenue problems with, and not saying that we have an expense problem. And, there are ways to make government more efficient at all levels. And, putting, just going on this trend to eventually having cameras on every intersection, wherever this is all heading with this momentum, I just don't think is the right answer.
And, a lot of people will say, listen, if you're going to put them out there, at least make a uniform. We were getting reports of a lot of the signs, the signage, the flashing lights, maybe 1 out of every 3 now as far as the districts are concerned out of schools. So it's not clear to many. A lot of people still very confused about the times. Okay, does it start at 7 and does it end at 6? Is it 20 miles an hour? Is it 25? Is it 10 over the limit? 9? You know what I'm saying? There's just a lot of confusion about this whole thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, there isn't consistency on that. If there are school activities going on, and, as far as as a driver, school's out of session, if there's school activities going on, those cameras can be on and you could be getting a ticket. And, the speed limits change, but, between whether or not school is in session during school hours. So for drivers, as you travel Long Island through one district to the next, and different speed limits, how do you know whether or not, even what the speed limit is? So, I mean, it's definitely causing some controversy as well. The cameras got turned on early in Nassau County before Labor Day. The county executive then forgave a lot of the tickets that were issued. But I've always opposed this when I was as a legislator in Albany, and I'm a little nervous about the trend that we're seeing. Our government's going, just insisting on having these revenue problems and not tackling expenses and efficiencies.
A little bit like the red light cameras now. A little controversy there too. Did you go through the light? Did you stop? Did you go a little bit over the line? Is your picture taken? There's still a lot of stuff going on with that whole thing. Before I let you go, border security is still a huge issue. All that's going on now with these ISIS militants. The number was starting last week. The one that really caught my attention was these 6,000 student visas issued. These individuals can't even be found right now. Somehow, some way, something has to be done, I would think.
Well, no question. There have been presidents, both Republican and Democrat. Ronald Reagan in '86 attempted immigration reform. The fact of the matter is we have to we have a vulnerable border. We hear stories all the day, every day, whether it's unaccompanied immigrant children coming across our border, whether it's the threat of ISIS, the Department of Homeland Security reporting that ISIS is looking at penetrating through our southern border. We have to tackle the border security issue, and this is a perfect example of everything that's wrong in Washington, because the president has his plan. The Senate Democrats have a plan. The House Republicans have a plan. But they're not even talking to each other to try to find common ground. You can't get anything done if you insist on having it 100% your way, but they're not even talking to each other.
No question about it. And, again, you hope something can be done and quick. Again, it all kicks off Monday for Senator Zeldin as far as a big campaign rally as he vies for the 1st Congressional District. Senator, where again?
Center Reach VFW, 31 Horse Block Road. A couple great special guests, Steve Russell, who helped lead the effort to capture Saddam Hussein in Iraq, and Alan West, a guy who loves this country, who served in our military for 20 years. It's really a great event for folks to come out and become part of the effort to take back the 1st Congressional District.
There you go. That's State Senator Lee Zeldin. Senator, always a pleasure to have you on.
Take care, Jay.
You got it. LA News Time, we're at 7:52. Better late